Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Star Trek Fleet Command. And this video, I'm actually gonna do some discussion about factions, growing your factions, that sort of thing. Got a request for it. I was trying to catch some good footage here, and that was not really working out that well. But let's go over to my home system here. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to do a little bit of work on my Augment faction. So I have 89.3 and I do have enough. So I'm going to buy some Augment credits. And then we're going to upgrade to the next level in the Augment store. And let's see if I should have waited. It's okay. I was wondering if the Augment credits, I knew they were going to go up in price. I didn't know how much more I would get. And they're kind of scaling, so it's not that bad of a deal. So I am on the ally section of the Augment faction. So now I do have access to Yakim, and it looks like I have to go up one more level for Khan. I already have Khan. He works pretty well. I'm not too crazy going for him. I want to go for some of the other crew. So let's take a look here. Alright, so that's definitely more expensive, and Yakim is going to be included in that, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy a single chest there. And oh, that's nice. That was 12 shards, or I'm sorry, yeah, 12 shards. So you got Yakin, Marla McGivers, and Katie. So that was cool. And so first of all, let's talk about where I'm at with my faction. So I've been dropping my Federation faction of about 1.82 million. And I'm trying to get it in line with my Romulan faction, which is 1.789 million. So I'm getting really super close for them to being on equal footing. I kind of want to go over that 2 million threshold with both of them at the same time. However, I got a message via YouTube about dual factions. How do you get to having dual factions? How does that work out? So I'm going to talk about that. But I do have somebody that is in my Discord for my YouTube channel, which I will share the link down below so that you can join. His name is Dabo King, and he is one of the top rated players on our server. And he had a really good argument for a different way of doing dual factions. What he does is he maximizes an entire faction first, and I believe it's 4 million points. Once you hit up to 4 million points, you cannot lose anything on that faction. And so for him, he goes and hits 4 million points on one faction, then starts working on another, and that really works well for him. And we were talking about it in the Discord, and I'm not exactly sure if that works well for everyone, because he has, several ships that can hit missions getting 100k faction points, and not a lot of players, especially free-to-play players, have that capability. And so what I'm suggesting here, it's something for people who don't have that capability, that are looking to balance out those factions. So typically when people run into the issue of dual factions, they have basically been running one faction and the other two are super negative. And so what I would have to tell to everyone that's in that kind of situation is there's a couple of ways you can get one of the negatives into the green. And one great way is missions. I highly recommend you don't do missions until you're absolutely, have to or know what you're going to be doing. That way you can kind of save them and do them later. And they offer a lot of faction favor points, and which is really great about them. So like when you hit about level 30, you can easily be clearing missions that award about 60,000 faction favor. So if you're in that boat and you have some really strong ships, like you have a good Saladin, you have a good Centurion, that sort of thing, you can definitely be hitting those missions and really clear out the negative on a faction. Now, if you're not in that boat and you're in a boat where you have a Valkis and a Kara and you're working on your Kamari and you can't really get there, the good thing is you're probably not that negative in your faction yet. And so you can just go and hunt NPCs and do the missions that are possible. Unfortunately, at some point, it is going to be a grind. You're going to have to be grinding out NPCs, like probably 150 to 200 NPCs a day at least, to really get the ball rolling. And you really want to hit as high as possible because you earn more faction points. And really balancing that with the faction that you are in the positive with. So let's say, for instance, you have 100k positive in the Federation faction, and you decide you want to go Klingon. What you can do is you can hit those Romulan ships, because you're going to gain Federation and Klingon favor for every Romulan ship that you destroy, so that you're not going too much into the negative. However, there are going to be faction events that if you collect one, it's going to draw the other two in the negative. And those kind of balance out. But what I recommend to a lot of people who want to get out of the negative is just stop doing the faction missions for the one that you're positive in for a temporary amount of time. So what I've been doing to try to get my Federation and Romulan factions in line is, for my daily reputation event, I've only been enrolling in the Romulan. And so, at its top tier, what it does is it gains me 16,000 Romulan points and drops Federation 8,400. So whatever it's going to draw into the negative is only half as much as what you gain for another faction, which is the good part about it. So those are really a couple of ways that you can really draw your faction out. Unfortunately, a lot of this work is going to be a grind, and it's going to be a very hard grind for you to basically scoop or shovel your way out of. You can definitely go to the approach of doing one faction, maxing it out, and then moving on to another. The only problem that I would see with that is you're not going to be really exposed to other faction crew. You get a lot of faction crew by getting the shards for those packs for free and drawing those crew. And so that would be the only thing I would really caution you with. Also, when you run dual factions, you get like twice as many rewards from your dailies. Like if you're Federation Romulan, you're getting all that gas, and then you're getting all that ore. So my suggestion is you definitely want to run 2 as soon as possible to be maximizing those dailies. But ultimately, it's going to be up to you, whatever is going to work for you in the end. So if you do have any questions, let's talk about it on the Discord. You can definitely comment on the video as well, and I will definitely respond to those. A couple other things that is going on right now is the war is still raging with ZRO. So ZRO is the most powerful alliance on our server. They were joined by TIII, which is the second most powerful alliance on the server. The rumor mill is they are trying to force me to quit. They have a very big grudge, and as the war stands right now, they have a really good reason to hold a grudge against me, because I have just been clearing their miners day and night, along with all of my teammates. We're all doing an amazing job in the Borg Alliance, considering our power levels, really bringing the war to 0, and it has been an interesting experience. But at the same time, we're very dedicated, and we're very motivated for standing up to the most powerful alliance on the server. And I don't see us backing down anytime soon. So it really depends on and seeing what happens, because right now, no, nobody's allowed to mine. Everyone is just getting DK'd left and right, and that's kind of how we're going. The funny thing is about the war is, before the war, Zero had been DKing me for weeks, and before I left the game, I left my alliance and I set out on a mission to DK them, because I have personal issues with their leadership. And so because of that, since I came back, they don't want me to play the game. So they have been like seeking me out and decaying me. And the funny thing is they really made me ready for this war, because there's nothing for me to lose. I couldn't mine before, and I can't mine now, so I didn't lose that. I have a great alliance, who we're very much dedicated to one another. Have a great sense of brotherhood here. So they couldn't do anything with that, which made them incredibly angry. Lots of power trips going on over there, and so the funny thing is like, they're the ones who are losing right now because they've lost their ability to mine. So it's been an interesting ride. I'm curious to kind of see where it's going to go. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a stalemate for probably some time, and we're comfortable with that. Whatever. Other than that, I was looking at a couple of the offers. Not really seeing anything that really piques my interest offer wise. I think what a lot of us are experiencing right now is a lack of crew experience, and really needing that crew experience. And there is like nothing coming in for crew experience, nothing in the events, nothing in decent packs. They dropped the crew experience on the crew packs that were $100. They came out with this interesting event, this replicator rebate, and it basically says, we found a rare gas replicator we can use to rapidly expand our station, but we must hurry before its energy expires. Expend gas now to earn back materials to quickly strengthen your base. Completing all milestones will earn you 123 G3 uncommon gas. And it says 1 G3 uncommon gas spent is 10 points, and 1 G3 rare gas spent is 10 points. That kind of seems really unfair because the rare gas is so much harder to get than uncommon. So what's the motivation for using rare? And so at my tier, I have to earn 5,100 points, and I believe, if I'm doing the math right, that's 510 uncommon gas. And I'm like, yeah, nope, not going to do that. It says 123. I don't know if you get that after all these tiers, because these tiers add up to, let's see, 13. So maybe you get, I don't know, 110 somewhere in there. Doesn't say anywhere where you get it. But that's an interesting event. The domination event that is going on, and this is more of the same. So much more of the same. We are just outside of the top 10, which is fine. This is basically a spending event. People who are rushing through a lot of things. And I mean, the individual rewards are really measly. It's titanium. There's some uncommon there, but it's really, really bad. So I'm not sure what Scopely was thinking about this. Doesn't make all that much sense. And other than that, there's really no events going on, unfortunately. So I'm not sure if they're getting ready to launch um, the Swarm Part 2. I would imagine that is coming up sometime soon. Other than that, I'm kind of glad we're having this war because it's something to do. Without the war, it would be pretty boring. It would definitely be pretty boring. It's spiced up things a bit, and we are having a very good time. But other than that, feel free to drop comments down below. Feel free to join the Discord server so we can talk about more videos and things like that. As soon as I get some new crew members, I definitely want to do a video on some of them. But other than that, that's it. That's all I got. So thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, be kind to one another, and I will talk to you later.